Happy Wednesday to you on the Norwich Guide Dog Forum. It's Anna Hempsall here, and I have with me today, I have Mike Wordingham, who is a singer-songwriter, who has kindly joined me today because, as we have done for the last few weeks, we've been talking about music and how important it is in, well, just in the world, especially in the world of visual impairment and what it brings. And I suppose when you're faced with a visual impairment and little black notes, you kind of sometimes think that this isn't for me or it can't be done. But as people prove time and time again, yes, it can be done. And when it is done, it just adds so much value to our lives generally and well-being. It's an integral part of our life, not just listening to music, but performing and making and creating. Isn't it, Mike? So what do you want to tell us about yourself? How did, because you're visually impaired yourself, right? So how did you get into music? Do you want to tell us a bit about that part of your life and how music came in despite or because of your visual impairment? How did all of that come about? Tell me.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I have a condition called cone dystrophy, and it's a congenital condition, so I've had it all my life.
We just love those, don't we? They just don't suck at all.
Oh, yeah, they're really different, I suppose. But when I was that kind of age, when I was younger, it took a bit of getting used to. And when we moved to Norfolk, when I was about 4 or 5, our next door neighbour had a big white piano, which they decided that they didn't want anymore. So we said, "Oh, well, we'll have that. That's really nice." And so when I was, I think maybe 5, we got this in our house, and I started just playing away on it, just mucking around, and I instantly loved just the feeling of it. And I begged to have piano lessons. And luckily there was a chap just up the road, like 3 or 4 houses down, but he wouldn't take anyone till they were 6. He said, well, people can't learn piano before they're 6. So I had to wait, but I mucked around. So I did. He took me on when I was 6. And like you said, it's really difficult sometimes. I went down the classical route, so the grades and things, and looking at little black notes, like you were saying, on a page was difficult.
Yeah.
Sort of peering at them so you can get your posture right and sort of get really, really close.
So uncomfortable, isn't it? I played piano for a while, and it just became just actually physically uncomfortable trying to read the music. I know.
But what I did find is that he would play me things in a lesson, in one of the grade pieces or whatever, and then I would be able to remember in the following week what it sounded like and could sort of put the things together. It wasn't that I was able to do it exactly right, but at least I could feel when I got it right, when I didn't, and so sort of build up an ear that way.
Yes. See, that's where you're so much smarter than I am. I can never do that.
Some days better than others. I've met people who are truly.
I can repeat series of numbers, Mike. I just couldn't do a string of music. I could tell it wasn't right, but it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, yes, very talented Mike Wordingham.
I figured it out, and then it was. I just loved doing it, and I loved making things up. So my mum, obviously, when I was a kid, would make sure I did my practice, or want to make sure I was working at it. And God bless her, she's lovely, but she's not a musically gifted person. So I knew that I could play anything. So even when I was acting like I was playing one of my grade pieces, I would just be making things up. And I know that's really naughty, but I found that the bit I really enjoyed.
Have 3 children. They have all done that to me. Trust me, when I haven't known what their pieces are about, we have heard all sorts. It's and do you know what? Right. So I'm going to share this with you. So my daughter, she plays the piano, used to play the harp, and anything you play on the harp sounds great. You could literally be just mucking around doing pretty much nothing, and it still sounds really soothing and lovely. You can't quite get away with it on the violin, but a harp, she'd be out there for hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So back to Mike improvising.
Yeah,
Doing well.
and that's what I really loved. And then I went through, I got to grade 7 or so, and then I decided I didn't want to play the piano in my early teens like so many teens. I wasn't into that kind of thing and thought I was too cool for school. But I did still love playing and listening to music, so I'd work out how to play Queen songs in particular. I was obsessed by Queen in my early teens. And
Well, which one's your favourite? Which one's your favourite? Tell me.
honestly, I like the early stuff. So I really like the second album, this one called Fairy Fella's Masterstroke, which I love. But I love playing good old fashioned Lover Boy, you know. I just love playing, you know, Freddie's songs, basically. And they were always in E flat or B flat, which are really pleasant keys to play in. So I did all those. So that's when I really fell in love with it. And then in my late teens, I really fell in love with writing songs, because I suppose that's a progression. Once you work out how to play something.
How did that happen for you? Because clearly, obviously, I think it's quite easy to establish that actually seeing music isn't easy, reading music isn't easy. But how do you write music when you can't see, or do you just literally just memorize the sequence, or is it documented in any way other than an audio form, or how does that happen? I'm actually genuinely curious. So
all right, so I've just remembered I've missed out a really crucial bit in between the classical work and trying to be Freddie Mercury. There was a lady, we moved house in Norwich, and again, I'm so lucky. And another lady was about a few doors down on Earlham Road, who taught me piano in a different way, just music in a different way. And so she taught me how it all works. So in terms of why scales are the way they are. When I first do it classically, we learned the scales by rote. You just did it when you learned how they work. But she taught me the intervals and why a major scale it sounds like it does, and how chords sequences work. In fact, I noticed when I was looking at the piano today, I've done the same thing. We've been talking to my nephew, who's 7 or 8, and he's learning the piano. So I had a Zoom call like this with him, or a FaceTime call a few weeks ago, trying to explain, teach him the tone, semitone, tone, semitone equation for. So that was the thing. So once you, and after years of having a vaguely good ear and being able to play classical music because I could remember it, suddenly this lady just broke it all open for me. Suddenly I realized how things fit together, and that's essentially how I think you write songs, because once you know pop music in particular, Freddie Mercury a bit aside because they're a bit more complex. Most pop music is quite straightforward in terms of chords and structure. So you can play. So it's not, you don't really have to see anything. You just have to know what chord follows another chord. And I learned enough guitar to be able to write. I found it easier to write songs on a guitar, and I met my friend Adam, who I have written songs with since we were 14 or 15, and we just wrote songs together, and we still do. So that is many years, and we taught each other and we encouraged each other, and we've been making music together in some form, either as a duo, Nobodaddy, or writing songs for other people ever since.
A long while.
It's a 50.
Well, I mean, because I've seen you play the guitar, because you came to at least one forum for us and you played the guitar for us, which was really, really cool. And you play the piano. Are there any other instruments that you play, or is it? It's
funny you should say the violin. I did try the violin at the same time.
Did you?
I couldn't do it. So there was two things. I literally just couldn't. It takes too long to be any good at, so I don't have the patience to be that good to learn it. And also, I think I was slightly unlucky because there was a girl in our school called Hannah Perrone, who was an amazing violinist, and she went on to become a professional violinist and be in internationally renowned orchestras. So being a competitive, arrogant child, I think, well, if I'm not going to be the best in the school, I'm just not interested. So really, the only ones I've stuck with the piano and the guitar, and I sing as well. I've been
Yes.
in various choirs. I was in choirs at school. So that reminds me, again, talking about reading music, the problem with, being able to read music. They used to blow up the choir music, the sheet music for me when I was in the choir in the Norwich Cathedral. No, I wasn't at
Yes.
Norwich Cathedral. I was in the chapel choir at school, but so
Yes.
we would sing at the cathedral.
Yes.
And so we had a Christingle service one year, and I think I was singing Hark the Herald Angels Sing or O Come All Ye Faithful, and I set fire to my music because it was so big. So I had a tangerine with a candle in it, and suddenly my music went up in flames, and the people were trying to put the music out. So yes, there are logistical problems to trying to read and sing at the same time.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I just remember being in my brief career as a teaching assistant. We had a Christingle service once, and it's like, oh my goodness, are we actually furnishing 4-year-olds with flames? So I'm just like, this is just insane. This is literally insanity.
Yeah, if I'd been the child that burnt down Norwich Cathedral, that would have been.
Oh my goodness, that was bonkers. We'll talk about choirs. I've got Matt Emerson from In Video Voices joining us on the forum next week because I joined a choir because I used to love singing in the choir at school. Love it, love it, love it. It was sort of my thing, but then life got in the way, and then over the last years I thought, oh, I really would love to join a choir, and then it's but I can't read music. But the way Matt does it is just amazing because all of the tracks are pre-recorded, and because they perform music in part song, each part has its own recording. So you can literally just follow that particular part and just learn it. Yeah. So part of my daily routine now is I go on my rowing machine and I will sing the choir songs while I'm on there. Yeah. And it must sound insane to people out there because listening to one part of part song being rehearsed separately must feel really, really discombobulating to others. But I love it. I absolutely love it, and he'll come on next week. And I think that was my concern. How would I manage as somebody who's actually quite severely visually impaired in a choir that is not a specialist choir, isn't specifically geared up, but just the whole setup that they have has just meant that I've just literally within weeks I found my feet and just the whole ethos of them. They, even if you don't know a song or if you don't know what your part does, because they do rehearse old ones, you just join in and sing, sing the words that sing the bit of the melody that you do know, just enjoy yourself, just be part of that larger group. And it's amazing. Anyway, so he's going to come on the forum and explain to us all about what he does. What would you say were the so clearly music is really important part of your life. What would you say were the 3 biggest things that you would want people, not visually impaired people, but everyone, to come away with from today about why music is so vitally important? Why is it so important to you? Why is it so much part of your life? Let's hear about your love and your passion for it, and how that translates, and what you want that gift to be to everybody.
I think you've hit on it really with the choir, and it sounds exciting that you're going to talk to someone from In Video Voices, because it's about connecting. All music's really about connecting to other people. So exactly what you're saying. If you learn a harmony on your own, it's really interesting and important to learn the harmony. But it's only when you sing it with someone else that it comes alive, and there's nothing quite like it. So again, going back to what I was talking about with Adam, who I write songs with and perform with, we work really hard on the harmonies, and we've been doing it for, as we may have mentioned, for 36 years, and we got really good at it, and it just feels so amazing when it all links together. And it's the same with choirs, and I've already mentioned that all of the everything I've ever done to do with music has been to do with other people. So it was the lady down the road who unlocked it all for me, and that's a connection. It's only through her sharing her love of music and knowledge with me, and then me with Adam and other people we've written songs with. So I've met so many amazing people through making music.
Because we sometimes at the choir we put a harmony together and sung it together, and I've literally just gone, oh, that's so lovely. It's just so good, and it's just such an amazing feeling, isn't it? And if you've got that rapport with Adam, that must feel just amazing. You know what, I've never, do you still play together? I mean, clearly social distancing and lockdown apart, but because I've only ever seen you play on your own.
Yes, we do. Well,
both together.
Yeah, we still play together. We still record. Sometimes when we have time, we still write together. But there's links. I think I sent you one link to a page which has got a lot of our music. You can hear all our music on Spotify.
Yes, I will definitely post. Yeah, I'll post that on when the post is finalised on Facebook. I'll make sure that's there.
So we still play and sing. We did a few weeks ago in between the lockdowns, and it's still a wonderful thing. But also we've written for an Irish lady called Niamh, who has the most beautiful voice, and singing with her at concerts and on an Irish TV is a wonderful thing, because different voices together. And there's a remarkable singer, a jazz singer called Zara McFarlane, and I met her when I was living in London, and we wrote some songs together, and she's gone on to be incredibly successful and is one of the greatest voices in the UK. Well, you know, she's just, I would encourage everyone. She's MOVO nominated. I think she's on, she's released a few albums, and they're amazing. So just meeting incredibly talented
it must be amazing working with these talented, creative people. It's just, I think that's why I really love doing this in conversation as well, because I get to meet the most extraordinary people like yourself and Scott and Sophie and Laura, and there's just everybody who's come on. It's just absolutely blown my little socks off, just because everyone's just so incredible with what they do and just how much they love it. It's just really really good.
We see it even on our on the Facebook group, RNIB East of England Facebook group. Ed, who you spoke to last week, is fantastic musician, and that called Rupert and Alicio do a post each Tuesday, which are called Tuesday, and it's wonderful. Each week, people vote on what piece of music they want and they would like them to learn, and they learn it. And again, it's this connection and people sharing their love of music and talent for making making beautiful music, and it just links people together and connects people in a way. It's a real shortcut to so many to connection.
It is, and I think mostly it has to be easy. Does that make sense? Because I found I loved piano, but it just got to a point where it wasn't easy anymore, and the actual physical discomfort of it actually just took away from just how nice it was to play. Whereas singing in the choir is just, it's as easy as rain. It really is. It's in the bits that you kind of have to learn and struggle with, but it really is as easy as rain. And you can be down in the dumps, having had a dreadful day with whatever's gone on, and just take yourself off to choir and just come home happy. And I can't wait for that to start again. It's just going to be so amazing. Right, I'm quite conscious, Mike, you've got a full-time job and you sort of need to get back to the people who pay your living. Are you able to play us a couple of snippets of what you do? Would that be possible? It'd be really lovely.
Scott has requested the Butterfly song, which I wrote with Adam.
Scott, you didn't tell me this, right? Go on then. I'm going to put myself on mute so that you come out and sound beautifully and perfectly. So, do you want to?
Thanks.
You ready?
say that you're trying, but what are you trying to do? I can see you've been crying, but crying over who? What have you done? Tell everyone you're my butterfly, my mockingbird. You're my butterfly, my mockingbird. You're my butterfly, my mockingbird too. I can tell when you're lying. Who are you lying with? Don't you try to deny it. Deny that your heart is his. What has he done in telling everyone you're my butterfly, my mockingbird? You're my butterfly, my mockingbird. 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 You're my butterfly, my mockingbird too.
Right, quickly unmute myself. I really, at some point, ought to pick up the keyboard shortcuts. Right, tell you what. As you were playing that, we didn't quite cover this, but we sort of did, but didn't quite. So you started off classically trained music, reading music and stuff, but that obviously progressed to just hearing things. And now is this, all of the music that you pick up, is this all by ear now that you sort of mimic and copy? Is this everything that you do now, is this all by ear?
It's a mixture of ear and knowing the structure. Like I was saying before, that the more songs you learn how to play and the more songs you write, the more the kind of they click into place. You say, oh, that's that type of song, you know, that's those chords, or that's a, and so it's kind of it, but it's slightly misleading to say it's just kind of knowing the structures and you know, so and liking really simple music. So if it's simple, then I can get it.
Yes. And are there, I'm just trying to think. So everything kind of starts falling into place in that way. So is there any particular era of music you particularly love apart from Queen?
So
what else is your favorite?
It's a bit of a cliche for us, but I fell absolutely in love with Stevie Wonder when I was again the same kind of time, 14, 15, and he
was awesome. There's nothing cliche about Stevie Wonder. He's just a legend.
Yeah, particularly they call it his perfect run between 1971 and 1976, where he released like this perfect collection of albums, starting with Music of My Mind, then Talking Book and Inner Visions, Fulfilling This First Finale, and Songs in the Key of Life. And when I was with Adam, when we were 15 or so, we found Inner Visions. His dad had Inner Visions, and I mean, it's just blew my head off. It's just so beautiful and remarkable. And Stevie would play all the different instruments and again, these layers of harmonies, and really revolutionize music. But more than that, it's just hits you in the solar plexus, just how connected, you know, you could be emotionally. So that really helped me through some difficult times in London in my early 20s. And then I grew to love, my mum's Irish, so I love Irish folk music. And there's a chap called Christy Moore, who is probably the singer-songwriter who, singer and collector of folk songs, who influenced me the most, and probably the person I've seen the most often. So he's just him and a guitar, or him and a guy called Declan, and the two of them together making beautiful music. And there's one other lady called Gillian Welsh, who's an American sort of alternative country singer. And again, it's her and some a chap called Dave Rawlins, and it's just two people making perfect, simple, beautiful music.
Yeah, well, tell you what, if this Irish guy ever comes and performs in Norwich, it's you and me, Scott, out on a date, right?
I was really close. He was going to play this year. I think he was going to come over to London, but I think that they were cancelled.
Oh my God. See, hey, tell you what, I don't know how this works, but I'm just wondering if I asked Jonty to come and bring him in. Jonty was here last week, see if he has any influence over the Arts Centre, see if he can bring him in. That would just be so cool.
I've seen him at the South Bank a couple of times, and at the Forum in Kentish Town, and some of the greatest. And Gillian Welsh was talking about. I saw her in Brighton about 5 years ago, and it's the closest to a religious experience I've ever had. It's just so it's perfect.
Ooh. Mike Wordingham having a religious experience. Okay, that's all right. I think that's enough detail for now. You want to give us a little sample of what you do on the piano as well, to round up, or
yeah. So
what have we got? Is it another one of Scott's requests? Because I don't remember being given an option to request anything, Scott Valance.
I'll do a little bit of one. I'll just do a bit of it. So I put you on a pedestal, 'cause that's where you belong. I flatter and mythologize your beauty in my song. I tell the world you're wonderful, they treat you like a fool by acting lost and vulnerable and cruel. Man, I wasn't man, I wasn't man, I wasn't man enough for you. Man, I wasn't man, I wasn't man, I wasn't man enough for you. You didn't have to tell me, I knew.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. That was really, really, really sweet. So, right, on that note, oh my God, pun intended, right? I really should stop. Yeah, it's only been coffee this morning. Trust me, I'm on I'm on yeah, no alcohol during lockdown, I think is my mantra, because just trying to do the opposite to everybody else, as you do. Anyway, Mike, I have loved this so much. It's just been so great to get to know you better and your music better, and yeah, we'll see you around, and let's see what we can do with gigs in Norwich. See if we can send suggestions for booking certain people's way. Who knows? Send me the list, I'll pass it on and see what we can do.
Hopefully we'll meet again soon.
Well, fingers crossed. We'll get out of this in one piece, and then we can start doing some fun stuff again. Jonty's already told me that my post-lockdown promise to myself is to start going back to gigs and to the comedy club, which is going to happen. And I've already managed to book myself in for sailing next year. And and
yeah,
bringing
absolutely,
some
yeah.
barn owl chicks, so that would be great. But yeah, anyway, so for now, thank you so much everybody in the Norwich Guide Dog Forum page who's listened in today, and to Mike Wordingham, and I'll see you next week. I think if I haven't mistaken this, I think I've got Jim coming on next week, so he'll be playing his wonderful guitar for us, which would be lovely. I don't think I've told him yet, so that's why I say I think. But hopefully he's not busy. Otherwise, I'll come back with somebody else new and exciting for you to be inspired by, which would be amazing. Anyway, take care, everybody, and stay safe during lockdown. So bye from me from now, and bye from Mike.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay, see you soon. Bye.